Hi,
Hi Aryan, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm cool. So currently,
Great.
where are you?
I'm in Delhi right now.
Okay, and how is the situation there? Like,
Pretty bad. Like, uh, it's like pretty terrible here.
okay,
Perfect.
so for all the viewers, I'll just introduce them like what this series is all about. So in this series, basically, we'll be interviewing some of the best Indian Cubers and try to
All
ask
right.
them some question about their experiences and personal interests. So we are really glad to have Aryan Chabra with us
Thank you
on
so
our
much for having me.
episode. And he's best known for his NR single 3x3 of 4.91 seconds. And he's also a former NR holder of 3x3 average. So Aryan, my first question will be from your introduction, and that will be how was your experience of getting India's first and the only sub-5 single?
It was pretty unexpected. So, like, my first round didn't go well. So, in the second round, I was just hoping to get a decent average. So, like, first solve, I got a 6.4 something. And so I was like, okay, this is going good. And the second solve, I was just like spamming full TPS and I got a PLL skip. And then I saw the timer and it was like 4.91. I was just shocked. Like it took me a couple of seconds to even like realize that I just got a sub five.
So
Yeah, it
what
was really
competition
good.
was this?
SNU, I think SNU Autumn Open.
Okay, fine. Yeah, heard of it.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
also we'll now move back in time and ask you, how did you start your cubing journey?
So I started cubing in 2015 of January, and I saw my classmates solving one side of the Rubik's cube. So I got intrigued by that. So I went back home and just got. I told my father to get me a Rubik's cube, and then that day itself, I tried to solve it, but obviously couldn't. So like in 2 3 days, I just gave up and like went to YouTube and searched for a lot of tutorials, and finally I stumbled upon a decent video which I could understand pretty well. So I learned from that, and then I just I got hooked to it so bad. I was just like, when I woke up, I had a cube next to me and I just started solving it.
So the thing is, I have asked this question to many people, and the thing is, I've got the same answer from everyone that I started doing it in class 9, 10 or something. But getting
Yeah,
inspired from a person who did one side of the Rubik's Cube is something great. I've never heard of this
yeah.
before. So okay, the second question was how was your parents' opinion on this? Like if you start in class ninth or 10th, they'll be saying that this is an important year, you have to study, so don't get into cubing or something like that.
No, I started in eighth class, so like that was
Eighth.
pretty. The studies were pretty chill at the time, and then like my parents were like, "This is actually a good thing," because they thought it's impossible to solve. So they were like, "Okay, we have a mastermind in our house."
And which was your first cubing competition?
It
And
was
how was it? How did
LCRO.
it go?
It was LCRO 2015. It was really good. Like the comp itself was amazing, but since it was my first comp, it's obviously special.
Yeah.
And I met a couple of cubers there, and I also saw Akash Trupela, who was the national record holder at the
Uh,
time. So I was really inspired by that guy.
and which all events did you participate in that particular comp?
I did 2x2, 3x3, and Cube.
Cube.
Yeah.
Also, one important question is that what is that you learned from cubing which you can actually apply in your real life? There are some skills that you obtain from it, right?
Yeah. So like one of the like major skills in life that are like communication skills. So earlier I was pretty introvert and shy, and then after I started cubing, I just met a lot of new people and I learned how to talk to them. Like not get shy or feel embarrassed or anything. Like just be open about anything. And my communication skills improved. My English also improved, which I was not using that much in my daily life. And I also got to like know that you can look up to different people in a particular field and learn from
Yeah.
them and just share and just help each other grow. That's a very important skill in life.
So you're in class 11th right now?
I'm in 12th. Actually, I'm stuck in 12th. I have one exam left, board exam.
Oh, so how often do
Yeah.
you cube nowadays? Like, because this is an important year. So,
Yeah, I haven't been queuing much since I came in 12th, but I'm just trying to queue enough so that I can like maintain my speed for a while. Like
okay,
30
cool.
minutes, 1 hour a day. That's it.
Oh, fine. So you even got sponsored by CubeLil, right?
Yeah,
So
recently.
share us something about that. Like, how was your experience when you got to know that you got sponsored by one of the best cubing brands or company in India?
Yeah, it was really, really shocking and also like pretty exciting because the last time I got sponsored was in 2017 by a company called Speed Cube Shop.
Sure, yeah.
And now Cube Lelo is such a big company in itself, and it's based in India, so it's really a big and proud thing for me to say that I'm sponsored by them, and they're like really at the top of their game now. So it's really really good.
Okay. So apart from 3x3, you're also pretty good with 4x4, right? So can you
Yeah,
give, so for all the viewers, can you give some tips that how can they improve in 4x4?
4x4. So my strategy for 4x4 is just turn slow in the beginning of the solve if you're using the Yao method.
Yeah.
Because in the beginning you need to be really really efficient and not waste moves at all. And as soon as you get in the middle of the stage, middle of the solving stage, then you just can spam TPS. That's what I do. That's what my strategy is. Because at that time you just need to not worry about the look ahead that much and just spam TPS and just finish the solve. So like initially start slow and then in the middle, like start spamming TPS.
Fine. So
Yeah.
as the last question was about 4x4, my next question would be how was your experience of becoming the 4x4 national champion in 2018?
That was also a very unexpected moment because I was hoping to win 3x3 at that comp, and I didn't even make finals for that. So I was pretty low after 3x3 semi-finals, but like I knew that I could at least get a decent rank in 4x4, if not first place. So I just practiced a lot, and in the finals, almost everyone else failed, and I just did well for my standards, and I just won. That was really really good. At least I made up for not winning 3x3.
So apart from cubing, do you have any other hobbies?
Yeah, I play football. I also play guitar, and I am into weightlifting as well.
Oh, that's something
Yeah,
rare. uh,
yeah,
Also now nowadays there's a common stereotype that solving the cube is really difficult, or whenever someone sees you solving a cube, they are like, "How can you do that?" And so, how
yeah.
do you, as a speed cuber, how do you motivate people to get into cubing?
So like most people think it's something that only people can do if they're good at math, or like
Exactly.
in yeah. So they should have a like very good imagination skills or anything, but that's not true obviously. So I just tell them that anyone can solve a Rubik's cube. It's just a couple of algorithms and particular moves, and you'll be able to get it. So I just tell them to go to YouTube or just come to me. I can help them. It's not a big deal. You can solve it. If I can do it, anyone can. I tell them that.
For the first two layers, it is quite easy, but when you start introducing them the third layer, they'll get freaked out.
Yeah, they do. They really do.
So the total competitions, I think you have attended over 46 competitions so far. And
Yeah.
of all these competitions, which is your favorite competition and why?
Indian Nationals 2019. That comp was just incredible. The venue, the organizing, and like in general, the overall competitiveness of that competition was amazing. I also got the 3x3 national record average then. So like
Oh,
it was a really special comp for me.
okay. So also in your class 10th, which is a very important year, and even now, how do you manage your studies and cubing?
I like at that time I didn't have any pressure of studies to be honest because everyone told me 10th is quite easy and I just focused on finishing my studies before I cubed. That was my only strategy.
So
And
now talking,
studying.
yeah.
I was studying from the beginning and I was consistent with it, so it just helped me a lot.
Okay. So can you tell us your favorite event and the main that you use in that?
I my main event is my favorite and main event is 3x3, and currently I'm using the Wolf 3M, the original
Yeah.
one
Oh,
from 2016.
so I think you have also competed on a national level, international level, right? So
Yeah.
how is that experience different from the competitions that are held in India?
Yeah, so like in India, the competitiveness, like it's not that high. It wasn't that high at that time. And when I went to the Asian Championship
Hmm.
in Taiwan, they were like record holders, world record holders. So like
Yeah.
Felix and
Uh-huh.
Max Park. So when I saw them solve, I was just like, oh my god, I haven't seen this in my life. And I just got so excited, and I learned from them as well. I practiced with them, I talked to them. It was really inspiring, and it just made me more passionate about cubing and how beautiful it is.
Okay, so is there any cuber that you actually look after or look up to, like you get inspired from him or her? Any cuber, not
Yeah,
only Indian, any?
Felix is my all-time favorite, of course. like he's very humble and he's like also really fast. So it
Hmm.
shows that you can hold records and still be, humble and nice to people. And it's really good that he's that way.
Okay. And one general question. So, what is your opinion on the cubing support that is shown by like given to the people in India? Like, is cubing really supported in our country?
I have mixed views on it. My parents, in particular, are really supportive, but I've seen other parents not being that supportive because of studies or some other reasons. But in general, I think it's pretty mixed as of now because some parents do see the potential of cubing, like where it can go, and some just like say it's just a hobby and it'll just go away in a few years, like you'll leave it or something like that.
Okay, fine. And also, I remember an incident. I'm not sure if this is correct, but in the competition that you got the NR single, you took over the record of Ujjwal Pabrija in that. And in the same
Yeah,
competition, Ujjwal Pabrija took over your NR average. Is that
yeah,
true? So
yeah.
how did
That's
that feel
true.
like? Both of you would be thinking that I have got both the records in an event, but that did not happen. So how did that feel?
Yeah, like first round was like me and Ujjwal were both aiming for the NR average, and he finished his stalls first, and he came to me and I congratulated him. But I was also aiming for the NR average, so I went to do my stalls, and the first two stalls were decent, I think. But I was like really nervous because I just got my NR lost a few seconds back. So that was like okay. I was like okay. I just lost my NR. I'll just get it someday back. And in the second round, the second solve was the NR single, and the NR average was also really in my hand because I had a counting six at the time. But I just got nervous and just missed it. So Ujjwal and I were laughing that we exchanged our NR
Yeah, exactly.
basically. It was
Okay,
really good.
so
Yeah.
also, where do you see yourself in the cubing field after 1 year or so? Like, do you aim for something that in the next 6 months I should do this?
Yeah, I'm actually really looking forward to breaking a bigger record, something like Asian record. I'm aiming for 3x3 Asian record, even though it's like really far fetched.
Huh.
But I really want it someday, and I will practice for it as soon as I get into a college.
Acha, and out of all the 18 events, what all events do you actually focus on? Like, there are some events which we just do for the time pass sake, but what all events do you actually take seriously?
I mainly practice the N by N, so basically 3x3 to 7x7
Hmm.
are my main events, and OH, pretty much those.
And also, most of the viewers that who will be watching this video, they'll be beginners or the one who are attempting to get started with the 3x3.
Mhm.
So for them, can you give some tip like how can they start or how can they improve?
Yeah, so like anyone should start with a basic tutorial uh, from YouTube or just learn from a friend if you can. And in the beginning, just try to get your timings as down as possible with the beginner's method. Because if you like jump onto an advanced method, you get a bit slower and you'll get demotivated pretty easily. So like you should get a basic idea of the cube out in your mind first, then learn a better method.
So the thing is like if you solve the cube in 1 minute, it takes like 1 or 2 weeks to get to 40 seconds and then some
Yeah,
1 month to get sub 30. But once you
yeah,
reach sub 12 or sub 13, it is really difficult to get down from there. So like what
yeah.
are your like how did you get down to sub 10 after 12? Because it's quite difficult to get down.
Yeah, so like when I was averaging 40, I was using the beginner's method. Then
Hmm.
I stumbled upon the Friedrich method, the one method which almost everyone uses. So I started practicing with that and I got a bit slower. I got back to 1 minute. Then I saw an like insane improvement. I just went to like 30 under 30 seconds in a couple of months, in a month actually. And then I got stuck as well. So I learned full OL, full scale, and I focused on that. And I got to 15 seconds in a couple of months. Then I also got stuck again, like any other viewer does. उसके बाद like next I just focused on like spamming TPS and getting better queues because I was like, okay, I've learned all the algorithms which are necessary, like basic alg. So I just practiced a lot, like almost 5 hours a day I used to practice initially. So that's why I got like really fast in a year or so. So I don't think every that's feasible for everyone. So everyone should have a strategic planning
Planning, yeah.
so that they can improve like accordingly.
Also, you're very good at big cubes, right? 5x5 to 7x7. So
Yeah.
like, solving the big cube requires a lot of like stability and
Mhm.
practice. So like, what is your personal touch to the big cubes that you solve? Like any advices or tips for solving the big
For
cubes?
me, I think big cubes are like more about the flow and look ahead. So I try not to, turn fast, and I just try to turn very smoothly and just look ahead a lot because there are a lot of pieces in big cubes. So you might get stuck in a few steps and just look for pieces, which is not what you want because you lose a lot of time there. Just try to turn very smoothly and look for pieces. That's it.
Okay, so we'll jump to the comparison. Like most of the speed cubers use CFOP method instead of the rogue method. So
Mhm.
what is like your
Yeah.
opinion among the two methods? Like which one is better? Which one you should use? Or do you think that CFOP is better than rogue?
I'm not sure about that because like there are a couple fast Ru solvers, and the Asian record holder is also using Ru. So
Hmm.
definitely Ru has the potential to get the world record or something as well. But I think that CPOP is still the best method because like most of the major cubers are using that. But I think Ru is still in development. They could like improve them on the method a lot. CPOP is almost completely developed. I don't think there's nothing which is left.
So also it is a common like belief that hardware plays an important role in cube solving. So do you agree on this point? Like how important hardware is?
It is important to a certain extent. I mean, the cubers back in the day, like back in 2013 or 2012, they were still using cubes which were not that great and still getting times which people are still not able to achieve today. So, like, hardware is not as important as people think, but it is still plays a decent role in your solving. So, you can get better with a okayish cube, like a budget cube, in the beginning at least. But when you get to like 8 seconds or 7 seconds, for example, in 3 by 3, then you may need a very good cube.
Oh, that's a great point that you said. So in India, who is your favorite cuber? Like whom do you look after in India?
Akash Rapela.
Like because of his 6.91 last single?
So in general, he's like a very humble cuber. He's also a delegate, senior delegate of
Mhm,
India,
yeah.
and he's also organizing competitions. Before this COVID-19 happened, he was organizing a lot of competitions in other countries as well. So he's doing a very good job in spreading cubing, not
Yeah.
only in our country but all over the world. And he's also very nice, and he's a big role model for like a lot of people in India. Just not because he got the NR single, his just dedication and hard work is
Yeah,
amazing.
exactly. No, he's an amazing guy, really. So,
Definitely.
like, what are your future expectations? Like, what are you planning to do in the coming future, be it in academics or cubing? Any?
I'm planning to do engineering in like my academics, and as for cubing goes, I'm just trying to get better. I'm kind of stuck right now, but I hope to practice more after I get into a college and figure my life out a bit. I'm sort of in that uh, phase of my life where I'm just trying to figure things out.
So, as you're the fastest Indian cuber, it is quite common that people will get inspired from you. So, how does it feel to be an inspiration to so many cubers in India?
This feels amazing. I definitely did not imagine that I would be inspiring a cuber which I didn't don't even know of in a part of other country or in our country. So that's a really amazing feeling, which I definitely did not think I would achieve one day.
So, also this year the nationals got cancelled. So,
Yeah,
what were your expectations from that comp? Were you expecting something that in this nationals I'll do this or achieve this podium or something like that?
yeah. So I was planning to like I was trying to win 3 by 3 since 2016. So I thought this year would be it, but nationals got cancelled, so that's bad. But like it's okay. The situation is pretty bad as well.
So like how do you set the environment? Like before going to a cubing comp you must be doing something 1 or 2 days prior. Like how do you set
Mhm.
your mindset before going to a competition?
Like 2 3 days before a competition, I make sure my cubes are fine. I just tune them according to my
Hmm.
preference, and also I try to practice slow turning because in competitions when I get nervous I turn really fast. So like do not do that. I at home I start practicing very slowly so that in comps I can just focus on not messing up a lot.
Okay, fine. Also you have YouTube channel, right?
Yeah.
So in the coming future, are you planning to have and come out with a series or something like that, which will help the cubing community?
I am wanting to do that since a long time, but since I did not get the time because of 12th
Let
and
it be.
all,
This
I
is a very
couldn't.
important year for you. So
Yeah,
bet-
that's why.
better
Like
do it in
as
the
soon as
future.
yeah, in the future definitely. As soon as I get my life a bit figured out and get into a decent college, then definitely I'll focus a bit on cubing side of things as well.
Okay, fine. That's cool. Okay, Aryan. So I think we are done with all the questions. So
All
thank
right.
you for being with us on Cubing Talks. Our
Thank you
team,
so much.
entire team wishes you all the best for your academics and other future endeavors.
Thank you
So
so much.
thank you,
Thank you
Aryan,
for
for being
having
with
me.
us.